Hello everyone, my name is Irina. Welcome to my channel on Norse mythology, Germanic languages and the Viking Age. If you're interested in any of these topics, please like and subscribe, help my channel grow. It's very new and I would like to provide good information and interesting content in the future as well. In this short video, I am going to present to you the names of important Norse gods and important Norse worlds or realms based on the original sources with the names in Old Norse and an attempt at a pronunciation in Old Norse as well. Modern Icelandic is, of course, very similar to Old Norse, especially what grammar concerns. However, the pronunciation changed over time, so these words are not pronounced the same in Old Norse and Modern Icelandic. Okay, let's start with the word for God, or the main family of gods. This would be Ors in singular. It is an old Indo-European word, actually. It's cognate with some words from Sanskrit. For example, we have Asur, and in Iranian we have Ahura. Even in Hittite we have a similar word, so it's an old word for deity. The plural form is Æsir. So I repeat, this is the main family of gods, although in Old Norse poetry and the mythological sources, it can also be used with the more general meaning of gods. So the main character of this family is Odin. Odin comes from an adjective, Other, which is mad. So he is literally the mad one. This is reference to the fact that he can get into a trance, he uses sorcery, he has all these ecstatic experiences, and as a consequence gains knowledge thanks to them. His wife is the goddess Frigg. Frigg is a word which is related to the English friend, and it used to mean love. His probably most well-known son, but not with the goddess Frigg, with the earth, with Jord, is Thor. Thor is literally the thunder. His wife's name is Siv, which is related to the word sibling, and it means peace. Another very important son is Balder. Balder, described in the sources as the wisest and brightest of the gods. He is accidentally killed by his blind brother Hother. Other sons of Odin include the gods Voli, who avenges the death of Balder, and the god Vidar, who avenges the death of Odin. Odin, at the end of times, at Ragnarok, the events of the gods, so the end of the world, is going to be swallowed by the wolf Fenrir. Vidar is going to kill the wolf. Then we have other characters such as the god Heimdallr. Heimdallr is the watchman of the gods. His name might have something to do with the trunk or with being bright. Another character is the god Tyr. Tyr again is an old, or comes from an old word meaning god. It's actually from the same root as Deus or Zeus, which hints at the fact that he might have once had a much more prominent role in the Norse pantheon than he does. Tyr is the son of a giant, Hymir, which, by the way, shows the fact that these two families, gods and giants, were actually pretty connected by means of marriages and so on. So the giants, by the name of Jotnar, were not that different from the gods as sometimes believed. And speaking of family of gods, we have, besides the Aesir, a secondary family of gods, the Vanir. These are gods rather associated with agriculture, fertility, prosperity, and the main gods of this family are Njordr. Njordr is a god associated with the sea, among other things. His wife is Skadi, originally a giantess. Njordr has two children. These are the gods Freyr and the goddess Froya. Froya may or may not have been the same as Frigg. It's not impossible to believe that at some point these two goddesses were actually one, and then they split into two characters in the Viking Age. Freyr and Froya come from a older word having to do something with kingship. So lord or king, queen, something in the area. It's the same root as the German word Frau, which is lady. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention Thor has also got some sons who will come back after Ragnarok. Their names are Magni, which is strength, and Modi, which is wrath. Okay, we can move on to the main realms described in the sources. So first of all, we have Åsgarður. Garður means a enclosure, so it's literally the enclosure of the gods. Then we have Midgarður. Midgarður is the enclosure in the middle, so it is the world of men. It is Tolkien's Middle Earth, actually. So they represented the world of men as being surrounded by an outer ocean, beyond which there was the world of giants, Jotunheimar, and inside there was the inner ocean. So we have Jotunheimar, the world of giants. Jotun is a giant, Jotnar in plural form. Heimar is home, or in a larger sense, a world, a realm. There is also the world of the other family, the secondary family of gods, so Vanaheimar, the world of the Vanir. We also have Hel. Hel is governed by the daughter of the giant Loki. They share the same name. There is a popular concept that hell was the place where you went if you did not die in battle. However, there are indications in the old sources for the fact that it might have just been a more general term for the afterlife and even for a coffin. So basically where you went after you died. And speaking of death, in Åsgarður we have the halls of the gods, and one of these halls is Valhall. So Valhall is the hall of the slain. Val is the slain, so somebody who died on the battlefield. That's where we have the word Valkyria from. Yeah, so the chooser of the slain, literally. Besides these realms, we also have two realms of the elves. The elves are considered to be lesser deities. So we have Olfheimar, and we also have Svartolfheimar, the realm of the dark elves. This is actually mentioned by Snorri in his Prose Edda. The difference between these two families or types of elves is unclear. The dark elves might have been the dwarves, or might have just been some other characters, some other entities altogether. Then we have two important realms that have to do with the creation myth. So one of them is Muspel. This is the fiery realm from where the fire giants are going to come at the Ragnarok. And the other one is Niflheimr, the foggy or watery realm, and it is from the encounter from the clash almost of these two realms that the world is going to be born, that the first creature is going to be born, actually. These 9 realms are linked together by the world tree called Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is literally the horse of Odin, because Ygr is one of the many names Odin has in the old sources. Drasil is a poetic word for horse, and Yggdrasil has 3 wells at its roots. One well is linked to Oscarðr, Urðarbrunnar. The other well is linked to Jotunheimar, Mímirsbrunnar, and there is another well in Hell. So it basically works as a connecting item for all of these worlds. And don't forget that at the roots of Yggdrasil, we also have the goddesses of fate, the so-called Nornir. They decide the fates of everyone, including the gods, and they are Urður, Verdandi, and Skuld, which would basically mean that which became, so the past, that which is becoming, so the present, and that which should come, so the future. All right, so these would be some of the basic names of imported characters and worlds in Norse mythology. I hope it was somehow interesting for you, and I invite you to follow my channel for more topics related to that what you just watched. Thank you very much for being with me, and take care. See you soon.